Hey Weirdos, Evan Jarvix with Make Oklahoma Weirder here. It is November the 22nd, Sunday evening. Sun's going down, so I'm trying to get this one done here pretty quick. Yeah, I think I got to talk about COVID first. It's the numbers are pretty bad. They're spiking. They're most likely going to go up even more as the holidays come around, and because of that, since we are talking local music here, this is a local music vlog. I'm not going to any shows anytime soon. I haven't been going to shows, and I can't in good conscience recommend that anybody else do that either. There's not really any outdoor shows at this point, or if they are, they're so sporadic that, typically I'll do a weekly show recommendation on my website at makeoklahomaweirder.com or on social media, and yeah, there just hasn't been a lot to choose from here lately, and that's why you've probably, if you've been following that at all, have seen it kind of come and go, kind of dip in and out, and that's just, I can't recommend a lot of these shows that are happening, especially at smaller bar-type venues. Those are notoriously bad places, especially with bar culture the way that it is and the way people are behaving, at some of these bar strips. I went to a venue a couple months ago, gave it a shot. They were doing temperature checks. They were keeping social distancing with tables and stuff. But if you've got people who aren't going to adhere to the rules, there's only so much you can do about that with, limited staff, limited resources, which are already very strained with a lot of these small businesses. So, my heart goes out to local venues. My heart goes out to working musicians. But unfortunately, I can only recommend the live streaming, and there's just not a lot of that happening right now either. It's all pretty much dried up. I feel like we've kind of hit a point of fatigue with a lot of that. It's not to say that there isn't any, and I do want to shout out a few real quick with what little daylight I have. The Depot in Norman, they're still going. They still have a concert about every week, typically on Thursday, so if you're not already following the Depot page, they've been doing some really cool stuff. Typically singer-songwriter type music, but they have been branching out in genre, which is really nice given their history for a specific one or two genres. I want to also mention Art Moves, which I'm always astounded more people don't know about. It's something that happens every weekday, all year round, always has, and artists get paid for it too. It happens at 12 o'clock noon every weekday. Most of it is music, although they also it's Art Moves. It's put on by the Oklahoma City Arts Council, so they're definitely wanting to showcase all forms of art. But Chase Kirby is, if you know Chase Kirby, he's a super good guy. He's one of the organizers of this, the primary organizer of booking all these shows out, and it's all virtual right now. So every day at noon, most likely, there's probably a 4 in 5 chance you tune in, it'll be a local musician of some sort. So Art Moves, really cool. I've done it a few times, big fan of it, and I wish more people knew about it. Spread the word, go follow them, check out their website and all that stuff. And if you do stuff that's family friendly and art in any way, you should apply to be on it. You get a check for it, and it's just a nice experience. Lastly, and this will lead me to my next point, Circle Lotus Media, freaking killing it, knocking it out of the park. I love what these guys are doing, and I've been meaning to talk about them for a while, because at this point, I feel like they're a resource for me. They're so on the ball with, especially if you're into alternative rock in Oklahoma City, they have it covered, I feel like. And they're also, by all means, open to other genres. They're open to bands who are even out of state, but being Oklahoma City based, that's kind of what they focus on. Being from the rock scene, that's kind of what they're familiar with. But they're open to all that stuff. If you're not already following them, please follow them. If you're a local musician and you haven't worked with them yet, look into it, see what they can offer, because not only are they doing live streams every week, which are really professional, really nice. I love tuning into them. It really feels like an event instead of just somebody flipping on a camera and showing up on Instagram for a few minutes. It's actually scheduled. They have proper events. They have proper, bumper screens and house music. It's really nice. and I love the chat feature and all that too with these live streams. But they've also been really up to par on keeping me updated on any new music that's come out that I might have missed. You know, they post little summaries of new music that's come out, you know, whether it's been throughout the whole month or the past week. They're really good about that. They have a radio station that's 24 hours a day that, I mean, I really would like to see this radio station like get played in local businesses, because a lot of it is local original music, and it's got a personality to it that you don't often get with playlists like that, which they also have a playlist as well on Spotify. And yeah, they're doing a lot of cool stuff, and this is kind of like their first really big year of getting into everything, and I've been impressed, and I look forward to any future involvement that I might have with them, or just anything that they can continue to provide the community. You know, I'm watching, I'm observing, and I'm very, very happy that they're here and helping, you know, put in the work, because there's a lot of work that's been needed to be done, and, you know, I certainly have not provided nearly enough, and there's a lot of other folks who have not provided enough to possibly encompass everything that's going on. It takes a whole network of people. So anyway, I could keep going. I'm gonna switch gears up a little bit. Again, sun's going out, but Kodos is one of these bands that you can hear on that radio station. They've done some live streams with Circle Lotus Media, and they have a new album out. It's called, let me remember it, Just Another Memory. And they put out an EP last year in 2019 that I liked, but it didn't give me any kind of precedent for what this would be. This new LP is highly conceptual, and it's a lot more than sort of the basic, you know, 3 or 4 piece band kind of setup that they've worked with in the past. Like, this is a full-blown, like, epic record, and it is kind of a breakup album, which, you know, I think is kind of a played out trope, but they certainly acknowledge that and even play off of that in one track. Yeah, I think this is a record that really kind of rises above that trope, really kind of makes it something that that's momentous. It really feels a lot more impassioned, and you really get a lot of feels out of it that you might not necessarily get if it were, you know, more of a straightforward acoustic singer-songwriter type of thing. There's lots of interesting instrumentation. There's lots of interesting arrangements here. So, yeah, I mean, I could talk about Kodos some more. I really like that all of their lyrics are on Bandcamp, because there's a lot of stuff that's kind of whispered. There's lots of little quips that are in the nooks and crannies of this music, and if you go to Bandcamp, you can kind of, you know, read up on what all that actually is and what it means. But there's a lot of little Easter eggs in this album, which is really cool. And speaking of Easter eggs, you know, if you go to Spotify and check out their song, which I think is called Champion, like, they have a full-blown video that you can watch on Spotify, and seeing that come up in the playlist while listening to this album is super cool. They really put a lot into this. You can tell that it's, you know, a lot of care was taken, and I love it when concept albums kind of do that to elevate the experience, and it's more than just a collection of songs, you know. I don't have a lot of time left, and I gotta mention Sara Byrd, because I don't think Sara Byrd has gotten on nearly enough of your radars. Sara Byrd is probably my favorite keyboardist around town, ever since Adam Ledbetter left, you know. Sara Byrd, I've been excited for material from her for years now, ever since I met her, and it's out. You might have missed it, but it's called Divine Timing. Check it out on your streaming platforms. I don't think it's on Bandcamp or anything, or I don't think it's on SoundCloud, but it's definitely on Spotify and all that. It's, if you love R&B that sounds super good, super pristine, like, this is stuff that it's so leaps and bounds beyond what even I was expecting based on what I had seen from Sara Byrd, and I was already expecting a lot. This is so legit, and it's such a great, tight EP. So much has gone into it. You got to check it out. Add it to your playlist. Spread the word. It's so good. You got to check it out. Sara Byrd, Divine Timing. Catch you in the next one.